Okay, we will see how many people we get here. What's up there, guys? I see two viewers at the moment here watching the Jamal Charlo versus Jose Benavidez fight. I heard that Jamal Charlo apparently missed weight by about 4 pounds. Hopefully, my mic isn't too loud, by the way. Apparently, this dude missed weight by 4 pounds. I don't know how that's possible. He's never fought at 168 before, but we're going to see. We know that Jamal Charlo's been dealing with some mental issues. We're going to see how good he is. Jose Benavidez, we know that he hasn't been the best in the past against some of the top contenders, but we'll see. It'll be interesting. I know he's going to be highly motivated. If you guys want to put down your predictions down below, certainly let me know. See who I got. What's up, guys? Just looking at the comments now, my bad. But who do I got in this fight? I have Jamal Charlo, but Jamal, man, yeah, I just don't know where he's at on a mental level personally. Um, but I think he's going to be too big, too strong, too talented. I just think that he's going to be too good. Someone actually said Benavidez. Oh, in terms of David and Andrade, I got David winning that fight. I would not be surprised if it went the other way, though. Uh, I wanted Jose to win because Charlie been acting like a hoe. They're notorious for acting like hoes. To be honest with you. They're notorious for being a little bit emotional. But you know what? Uh, I don't know, man. We'll see. Carlos, I don't know what's been happening with him, man, but he's been a little bit mentally off. That would be crazy if Jose actually ended up winning this. By the way, let me know if it's the background's too loud. I have the TV a bit louder so you guys can hear it. Um, I had to use this Xbox mic actually because I spent about 90 to $100 on a Blue Yeti mic and the quality was for shit. So I'm pretty much just using this one. Was the most clear. So let me know if the volume is not up to par. 2.5 years. That's a long time, man. He came in 3 pounds overweight at a catchweight. I've never seen that before. 3 pounds overweight. That is crazy. Okay, I believe they just said Charlo did not have a long camp, so I'm going to be very interested to see. Uh, okay, thanks, bro, for the comment on the mic for sure. All the marbles. Jamal Charles fighting for all the marbles. Mm, the fuck is that corner wearing? Harvey Dog. All right. I'm really wondering how Jose is going to try to win this because he's not really a complete pressure fighter like David. Is Jermel there? Good question. I actually have not seen him. He could be though. I'd be a little bit surprised if he wasn't, but have not seen him. But Jose is not really a pressure fighter like his brother David, and even if he tried to, he wouldn't be able to outdo Jamel or excuse me Jamal in terms of power. Um, he's mainly a guy that tries to outbox you, especially with his length and his size. And I don't know if he's going to have either of that here. But of course, the question once again is where is Jamal Charlo at mentally? Because if this was Jamal from 2 years ago, I'd predict probably 6, 7 round knockout if Jamal was at his best. But I just have no idea. I do believe also, and I stated this, that if Jamal looks good here, I do not believe Canelo will next fight the winner of Andrade versus Benavidez. I do think he'll try to go after Jamal Charlo, then fight the winner of Benavidez versus Andrade. All right, guys, here we go. I hope so. I would hope for Jamal Charlo to look good in this fight. I mean, it's not necessarily, damn, that size advantage is clear. Jesus. God damn. Jamal looks like a fucking 168 pounder in there. Yeah, he is fighting a super middleweight. I agree. That motherfucker looks huge. Jesus. Yeah, he looks big as hell, man. I said that shit too. God. Shit. I gotta get my scorecard ready. Didn't even think about that. Okay, Benavidez starting off with an early attack. Charlo. Oh, good jab by Benavidez. The speed is still somewhat there from Jamal. He's at least faster than Jose. But Benavidez is gonna have to pressure. He's gonna have to legit try to. There he goes. Good. Good right. He's gonna have to do a little bit more. Okay, jab to the body by Jamal. Ooh, okay. Benavidez is working off the right hand pretty good so far. He usually does do that. However, he's not great at using his feet to move in and outside the range. None of the fighters from the Benavidez camp are. And so far, good jab by Charlo. If he were to actually use that, because he's not going to be able to outpower Jamal Charlo, he's going to have to use his feet. Good left though. Good left to the body. This first round is tough to score. Good jab by Charlo. Good jab by Charlo. But Charlo's just not really throwing a lot here. Um, Good left by okay. Good left by back by Jose. To be honest with you, Benavidez looks like the busier fighter so far. Um, Benavidez might be taking this first round. I think Charlo has to do a little bit more. I wouldn't mind if you gave it to Charlo. Okay, he kind of came with the combo there. Good jab to the body. But Benavidez, he is pressuring. He's a little bit busier at times. Good right. Okay, good left. Oh, good right by Charlo, though. Uh-oh. Looked like he hurt Benavidez there. Yep, he's wobbled. That's what I'm saying, bro. You got to move it the hell out of the way. You're not going to outpower Jamal. Good left by Charlo. First round, in my view, goes to Charlo. That was a round that could have easily went to Jose Benavidez, but as it's going to show in the replay here, he gets hit with a whopping, well, not a whopping, but a good right hand. That's the problem with him. He does not change levels with his head very much. Does not move it off the center line, and he's not using his feet at all. He doesn't have the worst game plan that I've seen. He's mixing up with them well, but you're gonna have to put some movement with it. And he's just not a great mover. It could be because of the leg as well. We know that he does have issues with that one uh, back leg, I believe. But so far, I need to see more movement from Benavidez. I don't believe he's going to put that in there. Oh yeah, I was thinking that Jose was getting it, but then once he hurt him, it was already too close to call. No, no, Charlo got that one. Nice try by Benavidez. Okay, good right by Bennett. But see, you're staying too close. Back off. Because I mean, in my view, because I mean, are you really gonna knock out Charlo? That dude looks like a damn 168 pounder in there tonight. Good jab by Charlo. That was really low. One of those jabs was really low. Good jab by Charlo. Benavidez leaving the body open. Good jab by Charlo. Yep. He's staying inside too long. Gets hit with a good uppercut. Good jab by Benavidez. Oh, good left by Benavidez. See, just staying in there too long. If he would use his feet to move in and out, he could be winning this fight, but he does not have that capability. And I don't know whether it's his legs or he just doesn't want to do it. This also was a problem against Crawford. Good left by Charlo. Ooh, good jab by both. Good right by Benavidez. Oh, good right by Charlo. Charlo, by the way, has never been super great at moving his head either. Uh, I've already stated this a multitude of times in the history of my videos. I don't think that he's ever uh, I don't think that he ever has been super great at hit movement either. He has a big problem with moving his head off down the line, and that's why he's getting hit with a certain amount of these shots. He's just he's trying to it almost looks like he's trying to knock out Charlo with that left hand, and I'm sorry, that's not gonna happen. To be honest, I don't even remember Charlo being knocked down in his career. If he has been, then it was earlier on. Because Charlo does have a chin. Let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the leg. It certainly looked like it was a little bit of an issue after that. Certainly was a little bit in the Crawford fight. Good jab by Charlo. Yeah, I think another round for Charlo. I don't think that the fight is the domination. I think that Benavidez is having a lot of good moments. I do not think that he has the legs, and I don't think that he has the boxing IQ to outbox him. He has the ability with some of the things that he's doing, but he's not doing enough. Keep catching and fire back. Sounds like they're looking for more counters. I'm a little bit surprised. Well, I can't say I'm super surprised. If he doesn't have confidence in his legs or he just doesn't know how to use them, he's pretty much going to try to bully Jamal Charlo. I don't know if he's trying to be David Benavidez 2.0 or what, but if I'm in the corner, you got to move in and out. Good uppercut by Charlo. That's the one that I've seen. All right, was it round three already? Ooh, good right by. Okay, okay. Benavidez teeing off. Is Charlo hurt? I don't think he's hurt, but he was backing off. Benavidez just blocked the right hand there with the shoulder. Just blocked it. See, just yeah. Benavidez looks better here than what he did against Danny Garcia and Terrence Boyd Crawford. And that could be a little bit just because Charlo's been off for 2.5 years. It could just be also because Charlo. I've already stated this. I've never seen him as an A fighter. I think he's an A minus fighter. He's still a great fighter, very talented, but he does have his flaws. He's a little bit too stiff. He does not throw enough volume sometimes. You're also seeing that within this fight. Uh, it would be very interesting to see a fight between Jamal Charlo and Caleb Plant. I would love to see that fight. Boogeyman Andrade. Hey man, you know what? Charlo's landing the more visible shots. I agree, and it's close, but Benavidez is just staying in there for too long, and Charlo's landing the more impactful shots. Anyways, as for Andrade, that's going to be could go either way. Truly, I'm picking Benavidez just off of logic. But if you picked Andrade, I don't have a problem with it. And I'll say this: Andrade looked bigger at the weigh-in than what I thought he was going to. He looked the same exact size as David. Maybe David just shrunk down a little bit for this fight for the conditioning. I don't know, but that's actually good news for Andrade, in my view. This round might go to Benavidez, from what I've seen. Maybe I've just been looking at the comments too much. I don't know. Well, Charlotte's starting to take over a little bit now, but oh God, vicious right hand by Charlo. Yeah, and Al Bernstein said the same thing. Very little head movement from Benavidez. I agree. He's never had great head movement. Neither the Benavidez brothers ever have. They don't have great legs. They don't have great feet. They don't have great head movement. Good left by Charlo. Oh, tried with that uppercut. Benavidez is getting shots in though, but I think I'm still gonna have to give that one to Charlo. Wow. I will say this, Charlo, he's probably winning the fight. I have him up 3 rounds to 0. If you had Benavidez winning the last one, I can't blame you. Uh, Charlo definitely looks limited here. He does not look good. Now, maybe even the best version of Charlo wouldn't look the best. I don't know. But I do think that the 2.5 year layoff has a little bit of the toll on here. See what happens in the replay here. Okay, Benavidez lands a couple decent shots, few good shots. Good body shot actually there by Benavidez. Problem is also he does not have great power. He's never had great power. Um, this strategy may work if you had um David Benavidez to Jamal Charlo type of power, or who's that one Dominican fighter at 160? Adams, Carlos Adams. He might be able to be winning this fight right now, but Jose, oh, good right by Charlo, but he doesn't have enough power, and he's not fighting in the correct way. Good jab by Benavidez, and I can already see what he's doing. He's keeping his hands down a lot. You can tell that that leg is probably bothering him because I seen this exact same thing in the Crawford fight where you can tell he's starting to lose a little bit of steam. And eventually he just stood in the middle of the ring because clearly his legs were affected. And he knows that this guy's starting to out counter him. He's still pushing, but it's clearly limited. Ooh, good left by Charlo. Blocked there by Benavidez. Good, man. Charlo has a very good jab to the body against Jose Benavidez. God, good uppercut. Jesus. Benavidez is trying, but he has no legs left. He has nothing left. I've seen certain fighters, such as Canelo and other fighters, kind of stand in front of someone when they don't have the greatest stamina and they're able to defend themselves. Benavidez and both the Benavidez brothers, they are not defensive wizards. They're not defensive greats. They have what I like to call the Mexican shell, which is basically you keep your hands up in a straight line and you hope that all those punches land on you. That's why his body is so vulnerable to that lead jab because he really has no way of defending it. Well, Charlo's never been good at avoiding a jab, and he is taking a lot of jabs in this fight, but you can't just win a fight off a jab. That's oh, a little bit of a shot after the bell by Jose, but another round for Charlo in my view. Two drunk uncles. Yeah, the Benavides family especially has been known to be a little bit bullyish. See what lands here. Great left. Great left by Charlo. He fights very similar to Jamel, which of course you expect him to, but I believe he's the more talented of the two. Let's see. Do you think retired Mexican legends are jealous of Canelo's great slick defense? Um, I mean, I definitely think some fighters are jealous of Canelo, no doubt about it. I think Marquez, when you talk about him, I think there's no doubt about it. And Marquez is a great fighter. But you can tell every time that he talks about Canelo, he can't stand him. He hates his guts. So there's definitely some Mexican fighters because no one likes to see themselves being replaced. I don't think Marquez ever liked Canelo. I don't know why the reason for that is. Um, there's a couple other Mexican fighters as well that I think had a problem with him. Uh, I don't really remember completely who they would be. But yes, I definitely think there are certain Mexican fighters out there that they're either not a fan of Canelo's way of doing things or his style or whatever it may be. It could also be because he's more European. Oscar De La Hoya was not completely accepted by the actual Mexicans, the actual Mexican fans, I believe, because he was both mixed, and on top of that, he was actually looked at as too pretty for his day. So sometimes to appease that Mexican fan base, sometimes they're a little bit strict. Oh God, good right by Charlo. Good uppercut by Benavidez there. Oh, good little slick right by Charlo. Charlo is defending still somewhat coherently well, but um, he certainly doesn't look elite. Oh, okay, good little flurry by Benavidez. Okay, this is a tough round to score actually. Benavidez is putting in some work. Ooh, good right again by Charlo. Ooh, good uppercut though on the inside by Benavidez. Oh, damn. Good right again by Charlo. Looked a little bit low by Benavidez, but you know what? This actually might be a Benavidez run. I think I'm gonna have to give this one to Benavidez. Charlo's looking for a major right. You know what? I'm gonna give that round to Benavidez. It's the only round I've given him so far, but I thought he did more work. It actually looked like at a time that he did good. Charlo looks like he can't compete at the top level anymore. That's very possible. He's been out for 2.5 years. It could just be the layoff. It could, to be honest with you, I've never seen Charlo as an elite of the elite fighter. I think he's A minus, but he may not even be able to compete there anymore. I don't know. Ronnie Shields, by the way, one of the genius trainers of really the past 20 plus years. Great, great coach. Good body shot by Jose. They did not give that last round to Benavidez. Interesting. I personally did. He pretty much has the exact same score that I do, though. I did not give round two to Benavidez. I gave it to Charlo. Oh, good right by Benavidez. It's going to be very interesting to see what certain channels like the LDBC and New Media have to say about this as well. And for those of you that know me, um, uh, you know that I like to review their videos. At excuse me, at times to kind of expose certain narratives. We all know that a certain amount of them tried to, oh, good right by Charlo, but a certain amount of them tried to say that Benavidez was undefeated and he was this great prospect. I bet you money that they're going to say that Charlo looked like shit in this fight, and they'd be correct. Uh, but once again, it's interesting to see how the narratives go depending on which fighter they're trying to promote. Canelo would stop this Charlo. Canelo, yeah, I agree with the bottom comment there by Mr. Dolfo. I think Canelo would have had a very good chance to stop Charlo anytime, or at least beat the hell out of him. My prediction was pretty much right on the money for Jamel because I've never seen Jamel as a great fighter. Good job by Charlo. He does not look good here though. But to be honest with you, Charlo Charlo has never really looked. I don't know. I don't. Oh, good, right by Charlo. Jesus. But the thing is about Charlo once again is that a lot of people will probably say, "Oh, well, he's not finding openings." The problem is with Charlo is that he's never really found openings that great. Um, he does not throw that much. That's why I compare him a lot to Danny Garcia, because Danny at times can be a bit stiff, and on top of that, he relies too much on his counterpunching ability. Sometimes you got to throw a little bit more volume and more punches. Charlo has never been that guy, and that's why he's getting hit with a lot of shots. That's why some of these rounds, I'm not going to say that they're impossible to score, but they're a bit tougher to score than what you'd like. And I'd give that round to Charlo, but he didn't look super great. Let's take a look at the replay here. Great. Yep. He's been looking for that shot the whole night. Great right hand by Charlo. Great right hand. Good return by Benavidez, but just not enough. Good right hand again. Benavidez is trying to fight a lot like David, it looks like here. And he's not David. He doesn't have the size. He doesn't have the power. I don't, to be honest with you, I've never seen David as an A plus skilled level boxer, but he gets away with it because he has excellent conditioning. And on top of that, he has more power. He has more size for that weight division. So if David were fighting Charlo right now, he'd be able to get away with all this. But Jose is not going to be able to. He does not have the power over this guy. He doesn't have the size, and he already does not have super great boxing ability. Charlo called out David a few years ago, and now he's fighting the smaller brother. I've always said this. The Charlo, well, I should say Jamal. Jamal has always made these call outs, but I've always said that they've been wolf tickets. Whenever Jamal calls out a real deal fighter, he's never usually serious. Um, Jamel, I give credit for. I don't think that the Canelo Alvarez move was the best move necessarily, because I think that that pretty much was an excuse for a payday. But it still was a decent fight because, uh, you know, many people have been calling for that fight. I got Benavidez running through Andrade mid-round TKO. I mean, that's a pretty bold prediction. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not going to be shocked however the fight goes. I'm going to say if a stoppage happens, it would be by David Benavidez, probably anywhere from rounds 9 to 11. Mid-round stoppage would surprise me. It would surprise me a bit. Not shock me, but surprise me. If Jose gets knocked out, Boo Boo 100% getting knocked out. Maybe, yeah. I tell you what, David, I've already said this. That man fights with a lot of negative energy. He's a bully inside the ring. And I just don't know if Andrade is the type of fighter, 100%, to really be the matador against that big bull. I missed what Harvey Doc was warning about there. Maybe low blows. I couldn't tell. Either way, Charlo looks like he's outboxing Benavidez this run. Good jab by Benavidez. Charlo just gets hit with way too many jabs. Way too many jabs, man. His stance is also really wide. And at times that works for you, but to be honest, at times he looks a bit flat footed. Thanks, Boxing Sage. Nice to see you here, bro. Salute, man. Salute. How you doing? Damn, midway TKO is very bold indeed. Are you serious? Andrade can really let's see. I actually cannot read that fully, but kiss his career goodbye if that happens. Okay, pretty much guessed it. But yeah, I agree, dude. If that happens, his career is done. If he gets knocked out within like 6, 7 rounds, he's done. The trash that people are going to talk about Andrade because allegedly he's supposed to be much better than Caleb Plant. He's supposed to be much better than Charlo. I think he's a little bit better than those fighters. Much better, not quite so sure. But this is a fight to prove it. God, good pun. You know what? I'll give Jose this. He has shown a tremendous chin in this fight. He's been hurt a couple times, or at least once. He has not been knocked down, and he's taken some vicious shots. I will give him that. Jesus. Well, another round for Charlo. Ooh, Morel versus Agbeko. I feel like I've heard the name Agbeko before. I will have to watch that one. Floyd Mayweather Jr. What the fuck are those glasses? What the fuck is that? I dig the jacket, but those glasses were horrible. God damn. I'm good, man. Wishing I could watch the fight tonight, but I can't. Hope you're doing good too, man. It's fight time. Hell yeah, brother. Always good to hear from you and everybody else. Andrade won't be appearing at press conferences anymore ever if he gets stopped. Yeah, it'll be over. It'll be a bad look. Andrade wide looping shots won't do anything against David's high guard. That only works on tomato cans. Actually, let me tell you what. Um, I think Benavidez has an opportunity to block that. If he can block that and somehow trap Andrade up against the ropes or land a hook or an uppercut, that could work against Andrade. But Andrade, the way that he's doing it, he's trying to throw it, but he keeps his head very low. Um, there is a possible counter there, but we're going to see how. We're not just going. Oh, good right by Charlo. We're not just going to see the athlete that Benavidez is tonight. We're going to see truly how good he is because there is some things that Andrade does do that is going to possibly cause trouble here. He is a bit harder to hit than I would say Caleb Plant. Andrade bulk up, so makes this fight even more interesting. Yeah, he did. At times I can go against you. At times I can be for you. I'm gonna say it goes for him because he didn't look that much bigger. He didn't look like he had any fat on him. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know. God, winging left by Benavidez, but did not land at all. Um, it's really unfortunate to see a fighter like Jose Benavidez, and not necessarily because I'm rooting against Charlo or anything like that. I was hoping for Charlo to win this fight because of course, he's one of the bigger names of the upperweight divisions, or the middleweight divisions. But it's unfortunate when you see a fighter that has the capability to do better, but either they weren't trained properly or they don't have the complete skill set or boxing IQ, um, or it's just some physical problems. Oh, that was really low. Holy shit. Uh, um, because it's unfortunate. Benavidez, in my view, had the capability. He did have certain punches, but he has no foot movement, no leg movement. Uh, and on top of that, he's just too stiff. Oh, that was very dangerous. He could have easily got knocked down there. Good body shot by Charlo. Ooh, good left. Good combination by Charlo. He finally backs out, but it's just you should have been doing that way earlier. Good right by Charlo. He does not move his head. It's and David Benavidez will eventually, I believe, run into that problem as well. But that's going to be something. There's David Benavidez. Oh, he look at that. He's actually changing levels though. He's moving his head. That's exact. He's going to need to do that. So I give him a lot of credit there. He moved his head better in the last fight against Caleb Plant. We're gonna see. Oof, wicked left. Demetrius Andrade dancing backstage. I want to know how confident Andrade actually is. I want to know how confident he actually is. He oftentimes does joke around a little bit, and some people they do that when they're highly confident. Some people do it when they're a bit nervous. I personally think he is a bit nervous. And Benavidez looks fucking ready. Like he looks like he's about ready to kill something. So Andrade better be ready. He has a chance. There's Caleb Plant in the row. See. Benavidez has none other than Memo Heredia and his team to help him with his fitness and weight management. I'm actually not. Uh oh, did something happen? Oh God, good jab by Charlo. Anyways, I'm not actually too familiar with that one, but yeah, this scorecard I full on agree with. I have it. I believe it's 7 rounds to 1 or something like that. Would you think this fight could go to a decision and be considered a draw and set both of these fellas for a potential match against Canelo? Um, Anything's possible. I think that if you're Showtime, I think that if you're the PBC, that you would prefer David Benavidez to win. And I think the reason why that is because Andrade, he's 35 years old. I don't know when he turns 36. It's probably sometime next year, but I think that Andrade is a guy that he's somewhat relatively talented. But I think that if the judges are going to give it in a close fight, I believe it's going to be Benavidez, and there could be a rematch, but I just highly doubt it. I think that they really want that Canelo versus Benavidez fight. I think that Canelo's, of course, still a big name, but I think that they possibly want to make David Benavidez the next step in Mexican boxing. So Canelo, even in that fight against David Benavidez, I believe he'll have to watch out in that fight because it would not shock me at all if they try to give Benavidez the benefit of the doubt in that fight. And Canelo's at times gotten a little bit of that from the judges as well. So I would, if it went to decision, I'd be surprised if it was a draw, unless Andrade, I thought, just pulled it out and they gave it a draw because they did it with Wilder, Fury, and Charlo, and what was his name, Castano. They do that with fighters that they know probably should have lost, but they want to give another chance because they know they're worth more money. They also did it with Canelo and Golovkin. Oh God, good left by Charlo. Man, if you're Jose Benavidez, it's like, where the hell do you go from here? God, good. How do you get hit with a jab and then an uppercut from that same hand in the same combination? Like, God, if you're Jose after this, man, you really got to think about retirement. Like every fighter you fought that was anywhere near A grade, you pretty much got your ass kicked against. She, man, his legs look done, bro. Good right by Benavidez there, though. Home with my family. Usually go with the mothers to watch. Okay, no problem, Doug. Well, good luck with everything. Good God, such a stiff jab from Charlo. Charlo just simple combinations. Simple combinations. Last round, I guess, guys. Let's see how it works. Oh God, my nose. My nose is killing me, by the way, guys. Sorry if you hear me snorting back here. Ugh. They actually touch gloves. Oh, Benavides with some combos. Hope they get better, bro. Yeah, me too, bro. Jose's ponytail, apocalypto ponytail flop around like he has an impression on the judges. I know. Yeah, that fucking ponytail's getting whipped from pillar to post. Good job by Charlo. They say Charlo's landed 228 punches. You've gotten 228 punches landed on you. It's a 10-round fight. You've gotten almost 250 punches landed on you. Jesus. I'll give him credit. He hasn't gone down. What I missed, just got back from work. Well, we're in the Jamal Charlo versus Jose Benavidez co-main event. Last round, bro. You just got in time for the main event. Charlo pretty much outboxed Jose. Jose had his moments, but Jose looks a little bit hurt here. He got hurt with a couple good ones, but Jose's mainly been losing this fight. I've given them one round per. Yeah, Jose is. His legs are not great. Charlo is hitting him, but Jose's hanging in there. Oh. Charlo's really looking for that knockout, man. Oh, he's arguing with the ref a little bit here. He's arguing with the ref a little bit here. Oh boy. I don't know if that's just all the frustration of the past 2.5 years, or if that's Jose. Probably a little bit of everything. God. Well, gotta give it to Charlo. I think that he won 10 rounds, or excuse me, I think that he won 9 rounds to one at the very least. Maybe could have given one more round to that of what's his name, Jose, but yeah, dominant performance by Jamal. Pretty much what I predicted. I'm not surprised it didn't end in knockout. Jamal's he kind of knocks certain guys out, kind of doesn't with others. Uh, you never know what you're gonna get out of Jamal. Good performance, but not great. Well, Jose was shot in the leg a few years ago. Let's see. Let's see. Reminds me of David Lemieux whenever GGG jabbed him in the face. His hair. Yeah. No, dude, I remember that fucking like French comb over that he had or whatever. With that French silk hair. Dude, the boo boo impression in that video was great. Thank you, bro. Thanks. We're gonna see if Demetrius Andrade wins it for all the marbles. Sean Porter. I tell you what, bro. Andrade looks he doesn't look small. So uh, I tell you what, man. I don't know. Let's see how much that power really does. I've never seen him as an A plus level puncher. I think he's anywhere from B plus to A minus, but that could be enough. All the marbles, exactly, exactly. That's what Demetrius Andrade is fighting for. All the marbles against David Benavidez, so he can get the championship belts. It's been a while since Jamal knocked out an opponent. Yeah, you know what? It kind of has been. Uh, yeah, pretty good scorecards. They were all a bit different. One had it 10 rounds to zero. One had it 9 rounds to one. That's what I scored it, 9 rounds to one. Another had it 8 rounds to two. Can't complain about any of those cards. All relatively accurate. So Jamal Charlo undefeated. Let's see what he says. He does talk like Bugs Bunny. I agree. I agree. It isn't great. Oh, he said I don't grade this one, and Jamal still looks like sums up with him. After that performance, I would not step in the ring if against Canelo. He would get the shit kicked out of him. It almost looks like he's about to tear up, or he is tearing up. I know. Yeah, yeah. Andrade has a very interesting way of pronouncing things. I don't understand it either, but whatever. I guess I'll tell you what. If he beats Benavidez, I won't ever. I can't say I won't mention it again, but I'll mention it much more rarely. Yeah, that's very interesting. A lot of these channels don't seem to mention that. Charlo's had that WBC belt for over 2.5 years. Hasn't fought once. Hasn't fought once. No one ever mentions it. Do you think Plant beats? Oh yeah, I think if Plant is still a very good fighter, which it seems that yeah, yeah, I completely yeah. This version of Charlo, absolutely. The Charlo that I seen against Dervyachenko, to be honest with you, I still even think Plant could possibly beat. This version of Charlo probably would lose 8 rounds to four, if not even more. Uh, the question is, could Carlos Adams beat this version of Charlo? Because this is not the best version I've ever seen of Charlo. Once again, I've never seen Charlo as an all-time great fighter. The best version of Charlo I probably ever seen was against Dervyachenko. I don't think Dervyachenko was an A grade fighter either, but at least he's a relatively tough fighter. Gave tough fights to an older Gennady Golovkin and to Danny Jacobs as well. So, I mean, he looked great there. Here, not so much. If I were going to rate it out of 10, I'd give this performance probably about a 6. He definitely didn't look terrible. He just didn't look great. And to beat fighters that he's, well, allegedly wanting to go after, he needs to be great. Abner Mares is saying that he loved his performance. All right. I mean, I think that's a bit generous, but I mean, I give Charlo credit. You know, he's probably coming off of some mental issues. He's clearly still broken up about some. I heard that him and his wife divorced, and that a lot of the times, unfortunately, with a lot of these athletes, it affects him majorly. So I don't know. Yeah, he looks very teared up, and I get it. So hopefully he recovers well. Uh, I don't really know where he's going to be later on in his career, but I've seen comebacks, so we'll see. Ring Magazine criticized the WBC recently and accused them of shady practices. Solomon was pissed. He was positively fuming on camera when they asked him about it, but they stated facts. Yeah, the WBC, to be honest with you, all the boxing commissions have been a little bit shady. But the WBC, yeah, they've allowed certain mandatories, it seems. To be fair, I guess they all have their own rules, but I just hear a lot of bitching about certain fighters like Fury and Canelo. They're not fighting their mandatories, but a lot of these same guys, LGBC new media channels especially, they never said shit about Wilder never fighting Dillian White, or they never said shit about Jamal Charlo holding onto that WBC belt for over 2.5 years. Oh, now I see why Jose kind of threw that after the bell. I don't really know where Jose Benavidez goes from here either. To be honest with you, if he retired, you can't really blame him. Jose is just one of those unfortunate cases. He had some level of talent, got shot in the leg, probably because he was worried about being a gangster, possibly on the streets. He's a little bit more gang ridden, from what I heard, than his brother. Uh, and on top of that, he just has certain flaws. But his time is pretty much past. Let's see, Wilder got knocked out twice in a row in the WBC. Still at ranked number one. How? But yeah, yeah. Some of these boxing rankings, man, are crazy. I don't get them either. To be honest with you. Oof, let me turn that down a little bit. The show in the all access kind of right now. I already stated this. This is debatably the most exciting fight of the year. Not in terms of them both being top 10 pound for pound, but I've already stated how much is on the line here in my view. David Benavidez, if he loses this fight, he's 26 or something like that. He could recover. He's also a fighter that has a lot of flaws in my view. Um, and that would mean potentially that he would have to move up to 175. And I don't know if he beats the best version of Dimitri Bivol or Beterbiev. I would not favor him in either of those fights. Um, so this is very important for him to win. Very important. And it's important for the PBC as well because they want David to win this fight. Make no mistake about it. As for Andrade, if you lose this fight, but your career is over. You have no career left. I've already stated this. Just in my view, I don't know who else is going to fight you. Maybe Caleb Plant. I don't know. Charlo, I highly doubt is going to do it. Canelo has never really seemed super interested in that fight in the first place. So that leaves about Janabek, David Morrell, and some of the other fighters. And it's just I don't know if he can win any of those fights if he loses this fight badly or loses it in general. But anyways, another channel mentioned that Jose got shot because his dad borrowed money to finance his careers, and they didn't want to pay back. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. Um, there's no offense against the Benavides family, but especially the father, it seems like he's had certain criminal ties in the past, from what I've seen, uh, which can cause trouble. Andrade, what you notice is that he has the snack program on his shirt. And once again, I'm not one to spread rumors, but for those of you that know the snack program, they are owned and formulated by that of Victor Conti. Victor Conti is a former PED and steroid supplier. I've already stated this. Do I believe that every athlete in snack, Caleb Plant, Shakur Stevenson, Crawford, Andrade, all those guys, do I think they're probably on something? More than likely. More than likely. But Snack has a decent tie with USADA and a certain amount of the other drug testing forms, so it's very hard for them to get caught. Now, we don't know completely, but in my view, anyone who's involved with Snack and a complete one of the world's top former drug cheats, uh, more than likely something's wrong there. Let's see. Another, okay, I already said that. He would, but he'll prove you wrong. Yeah, man. We'll have to see. Andrade looked all jacked up. Yeah, yeah, I'm not. I'm pretty sure you meaning like his level of conditioning or like the way that he looked. He looked good in good shape. If you're talking about nervousness, I thought he looked a little bit nervous. Um, I'm just gonna be very interested. This fight's gonna be very interesting, man. Kind of like when Floyd had some issues with Jay Prince at the time. Bob Arum wrote check to Bill. Yep, I think I heard about that as well. Andrade. Benavidez, in my view, looks more prepared for this moment. He looks like he's taking this a little bit more serious. Now, once again, fighters they do things a little bit differently. Some people joke around, they laugh before the fight. Others take it dead serious. So I don't know. It could just be Andrade's personality. He always seems to have that personality anyway. But he looks a little bit more nervous to me than what David does. David looks like he's ready and he knows the impact of this fight. I think Andrade does as well, but he's nervous. Here we go, guys. Jesus. He has the power to keep Benavidez off of him. Well, we're going to see about that, aren't we? We're going to see about that one. Like I said, I've been hearing for a very long time that Andrade is a lot better than Plant. that he's 10 times better than Plant and that he's better than a lot of these other fighters, a lot better. And Benavidez is wearing a Grinch costume apparently. I don't know what that is, but what the fuck is wrong with their wardrobe corner today? Anyways, but I've been hearing about Andrade for a very long time about him being better than a lot of these fighters. So if he is, he should win this fight. Let's see. Benavidez was in a good mood and cheerful during their face-off. He looked a little bit. I'm not gonna say. Well, he looked a bit nervous. That's a little bit normal before the fight. But there's different types of nervous energy. You're always going to be nervous before a big fight. Andrade looks to me a bit more nervous than Benavidez does. He's laughing a lot, but in my view, he's a bit more nervous than what he's letting on. We'll see though. I could be wrong. What weight does Benavidez look right now? Um, I'm not seeing him in the ring right now. I don't know what he weighed in at afterwards, but Benavidez is a big guy, so don't be surprised if he's in there at like around 200 pounds. Would not be shocked. Um, I have some sort of issue with Andrade, but I want to say because they have all these dumb fanboys drunk off their favorite fighters that the real boxing fans gonna hate on their fight. Yeah, man, I always try to stay logical, no doubt about it. That way, I keep my feelings out of it. Um, but Andrade, I've always stated this. I've never really had a problem with anybody, in the boxing scene. I mean, there's some people that rub you the wrong way, but Andrade, I just want to see it to believe it. I keep hearing about. I've never seen him personally as the best of any weight division, other than maybe middleweight when he was there by himself. Uh, but I've been hearing about him for years, for the past decade. So this is the point to see it to believe it. But now that I hear that Andrade don't have a future if he loses this match, where does he go from here? And it sucks to hear that. Um, yeah, I'm 10 minutes away. Hopefully, you arrived. Oh yeah, bro, you arrived in time. Oh, there's that one Dominican fighter, Michelle Rivera, who, in my view, is a one-dimensional fighter. But anyway, and who the hell is that? Oh, Brandon Lee. I do not know him, but apparently he's a boxer. Oh God, this Rolly Romero. Um, but to answer your question, man, where do I think he goes? Andrade is going to have a very tough time because he's very similar along those Guillermo Rigondeaux, Gennady Golovkins. It's going to be very hard, and he's even worse than those guys because he just doesn't have great star appeal. Terrence Crawford is in the building as well. Awesome, a lot of stars for this fight. But I don't know. I don't know where he goes from here. He could fight Caleb Plant. He could fight Charlo. He could fight Canelo potentially. Andre Berto in the building. I'm trying to. Like I said, you don't really have any of the avenues. When you lose a fight, there's Zab Judah as well. When you lose a fight and no one basically wants to fight you, and you have very little reward for the amount of risk that you possibly bring, Mike Tyson in there as well. Um, the only ones to really fight are the super dangerous contenders that are looking to build themselves up. So who are we talking about here? Janabek. We're talking about David Morrell. We're talking about guys like that. Maybe Caleb Plant. Certain guys to build themselves back up for a title shot, and that's when it gets dangerous because you're going to be fighting guys that are strong, dangerous. They also don't bring a great amount of reward either because they're upcoming fighters. So if you fight those guys and you lose again, it even puts you in a worse position. And so the question really just becomes, do you think Demetrius Andrade, if he loses this fight, do you think he can beat someone like a David Morrell? Do you think he can beat someone like a Yana Beck? It's possible, but it's not confirmed. So Andrade has to win this fight. There's no choice. He has to. And I think he knows that, but this is going to be a tough one. Let's see. Andrade could fight Plant on the Canelo Benavidez undercard if he loses tonight. That'd be a great fight. It would be. However, Plant seems more interested in a Charlo fight. Knowing Charlo, he probably won't take that fight, but we'll see. Uh, when the stream started, just got here. Has the main fight started? It's about to start up right now, man. Probably in about 10 minutes. They got done with like the all access stuff. If Andrade loses, his career's over. I somewhat agree. Um, Beautiful Vegas City, city of sins. But yeah, yeah, the fight's gonna start very soon, man. Probably gonna walk out, do the anthems, all that stuff. Getting very close. Andrade won't want to fight prospects if he loses. Well, see, that's the thing. I don't think he's gonna have a choice. Um, it's kind of like with Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux had no choice but to eventually step in there and get Lomachenko, and it's kind of similar here because no one else wanted to fight him around his weight divisions because he's a Cuban fighter and he's too much. Damn, you got allergies 24/7. Yeah, bro, it's killer. Um, but uh, but yeah, bro, here comes Andrade. But yeah, like I said, he's gonna have no choice if he loses this. Canelo, Charlo, none of those guys are fighting him. Plant, I don't think he's gonna fight him. That leads David Morrell, that leads Janabek. I mean, you're probably gonna have to fight David Morrell. Ugh. Crawford can fight Andrade to acclimate the division. Yeah, and David will win. I have David winning as well. That'd be interesting. I doubt Crawford would want to fight Andrade. I don't even think Crawford really wants to fight Canelo. He even said the other day that he was kind of just talking. Okay, they're taking a long time to fucking walk out here with the Cape Verdean mask on. That's cool. I dig it. 4th of July, Jason mask. Yeah, you know what? I fuck with that mask to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure that's a flag of his ancestry, Cape Verdean, or that one African country, kind of Portuguese ties. It's pretty cool. Showing off all the belts he's got. All right. Well, now's the time to show it, Andrade. Is this going to be a thing now, or is it once a balloon? You know what, man? That's a good question. I don't really know, to be honest with you. It kind of depends also how many people tune in. Uh, I'm not always a live stream guy. I'm a little bit more lively today because I'm so excited for this fight. But if you see my videos, I'm a little bit more chilled out and logical, and sometimes even a little bit more monotone. But, but I certainly wouldn't mind it. It's got to be a big fight, though, for sure. Um, you know, or I might be responding to people's questions. Who knows? But if you guys ever want me to do a live, certainly have a certain amount of you guys comment down below. I wouldn't mind doing it every once in a while. Cape Verdean musical artist chewing freedom. That's crazy. God, I've been waiting for this fight all week, man. Got butterflies in my stomach because of this fight. Whew. Interesting, like gold jaguar outfit on almost or something like that. Andrade, the 36-year-old prospect, finally in a meaningful fight. My knees are shaking, dude. I feel it. Ever since the Mayweather Pacquiao fight, which happened, I believe, in 2016. Or you know what? No, that happened in 2015. Um, Ever since that fight, I've got butterflies in my stomach, and then ever since that fight, when I grew up a little bit more, every time there's a big fight on like this, I always have butterflies in my stomach. I like your streams. Thanks, man. Always appreciate it. Hopefully, it ain't another Crawford in a way type of fight. I agree. I hope it is at least a little bit competitive. I think more than likely it's gonna be. Because the thing is with the Inoue, uh, he's a fantastic fighter, and I even predicted that Inoue was actually gonna lose that fight. But the thing is that in a way, we already knew he had the athleticism. He has just such tremendous power and speed. And when he showed greater head movement and defense, there was just nothing that Fulton could do. And Crawford's another one of those fighters. The thing is with this, I don't think either one of these fighters are A plus skill level fighters. I think that both, excuse me, I think both Crawford and in a way both are. What the fuck is with these wardrobes, bro? Like, what? Let's see. Bomac claims Boo Boo skills are out of. I seen that. I seen that. I was actually gonna post a video where he stated that. I think I posted a video actually. That stated that. But I that's why I'm saying, bro, I got to see it because I've never seen a skill set out of this world. I think he's very talented, but to say out of this world, like I say, that's stretching it a bit in my view. But you know what? He's Crawford's trainer. He might see something that I don't. We'll see. You know that fight I wanted to watch it and had to work. I regret not calling out that night. Oh, yeah, I'm guessing you're talking about Pacquiao and Mayweather. Yeah, bro, that's ah boy, the fight wasn't super great, but that fight was when that fight happened, the whole world stopped. It was such an event. I mean, I'm trying to think of other events that really just shook the world like that. I can't really think of any. Uh, I mean, maybe McGregor versus Abib, Messi winning the World Cup. I mean, there's just that fight, and maybe it was just because I was around probably 15, not 15, excuse me, probably like 17, 18 years old. That fight, I don't think I've ever seen a bigger event than that fight. That fight was so phenomenally huge. It wasn't the most competitive fight, but it was just in terms of numbers and everything else, not even close. Well, let's see. Weird that Bomac would say that about Andrade because Crawford is an overall better boxer. Yeah, but I think from their perspective, you don't have to necessarily be better than their fighter to have a skill set out of this world. Um, Plus, you know what? They did see Andrade. A lot of people did see Andrade in the amateurs. He did do very well in the amateurs. I'm not always a big fan of bragging about the amateurs because I think that uh, I've seen fighters that are great in the amateurs and they haven't done shit. But Andrade actually weighed in heavier than Benavidez. That's interesting. Benavidez must have worked his ass off to cut off that weight. That's crazy. That shows that he's really, 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 really taking this fight seriously. He knows, and I give him credit for that. Yeah, pack and play. That you're all good, Doug. I guess that you mean that. Crawford's punches are so much tighter. He doesn't swing wild or jump. I agree. He doesn't swing wild like Andrade. I agree. He is tighter. Uh, but they do say Boo Boo is a little bit unorthodox. He does put his head in a type of way where it is harder to hit. However, I am also going to assume he's going to try to be a bit sharper in this fight. I think that he's going to try, but let's see. Let's see. Because if he does swing too wildly in this fight, yes, it's not going to end up well. Let me also state this: Benavidez is going to have to throw way more than Andrade in this fight. Um, because if he thinks he's going to outmaneuver Andrade and outcounter him, and I doubt he's going to do it, it's not going to work out well. Let's see. The whole card is had wrong person. Yeah, I seen that. I seen that on Facebook. Who do you think is going to win? I personally believe that David Benavidez is going to win, but it's a tough fight, man. It's a tough fight. If Andrade won, wouldn't be surprised. I have a 60-40 going to David Benavidez. David Benavidez for all the marbles. Tim Cheatham, not always a fan of his scoring, but these guys are pretty much, and people have debated me on this, but these guys, in my view, I have no doubt about it that they are sometimes let known. Listen, we need this fighter to win this fight a little bit more. So if you let this guy in, then we'll give you a little bit of money. I have no doubt about it. Oh boy. It's interesting. They didn't do an anthem. I don't remember. I mean, I guess they're both American, but usually you see one anthem. Man, looks like you're a little bit ahead. Possibly. I think my voice is definitely behind a little bit. Yeah, man. If you want to like, because you want to like, no spoilers. That's all cool, bro. I wouldn't take it personally. Benavidez started the plant in a more bladed stance than the usual. Yeah, he did. He did. That's true. And I think he knew that he was going to have to improve in that fight because playing slippery. He fights a little bit like Andrade. Ooh, boy. This is someone asked earlier, what weight does Benavidez look like? And we're gonna get that answer because I've not been able to get a look at him full body. And man, it's about to start. Oh God. It's safe to say that if David Benavidez looks bad in this fight, safe to say that when Canelo steps in the ring with David Benavidez, we're going to hear about how David. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Or they're just gonna say, could you imagine what Andrade would have done years ago? And all these guys avoided him, and that's why Canelo. They're gonna find a way to try and shit on Canelo in some ways. Is what they do. But Benavidez' quick right cross will be his money punch this fight. I want to be shocked. Better check your volume, otherwise YouTube software will block your stream. All right, I should probably turn down a little bit. I didn't think they could actually block it because of the super loud volume. Let's see what goes on, guys. The fight is started. Benavidez does look bigger than Andrade, though. Andrade ties up early. Andrade is not throwing so far. Okay, Benavidez is trying to compete with Andrade's jab so far, and I don't think that that's the right idea. Ooh, winging right by Benavidez. Didn't land, though. Good body shot by Andrade. Good body shot by Benavidez. In fact, Andrade almost got knocked out bounce a little bit there. Good body shot by Andrade. Let's see how Benavidez also handles the southpaw. Good jab by Andrade. Oh, my nose, bro. So far, I've not seen any major punches landed by either fighter. See, Benavidez, he's trying to kind of compete with Demetrius Andrade in the counters in the mid range. That's not going to work. You are going to have to pressure him, and he could just be kind of feeling him out. Okay, still a competitive round. Andrade's landing the more clear punches, but Benavidez is pressuring, and he is still landing some body shots here and there. Andrade needs to stay the fuck off them ropes. So good left shot by Andrade, maybe a good right as well. Good right, but to the body by Benavidez. Benavidez is changing levels here. I give him credit. Blocked right by Andrade, but the crowd reacted. Oof. Good left hook to the body by Andrade. Another good left hook. Benavidez is looking a little bit tentative to throw, but he looked like the same way in the first the Caleb Plant fight. So far, Andrade is looking pretty slippery. He's looking good. He does still look a little bit awkward, but Benavidez is going to have to learn how to counter that if he wants to win this fight. Good left on the inside by Benavidez, but Andrade, I think, countered him back. So far, this is an Andrade round. Good jab by Andrade. This is pretty much what we predicted. Andrade good in the early rounds. The question is, how will Benavidez adapt, and how long will this last? Almost a right hand landed there by Benavidez. He's winging that right hook. Good block by Andrade. He is swinging still a bit wild. He's got to be careful. Good counters there by Andrade, though. So far, he's fast. He's pretty slick. He's doing okay. Andrade, first round. Hit the like. Thanks, bro. Let's see. Dante will surely have something to say if Canelo about Canelo of Andrade. Oh yeah. I mean, he'll have something to say about Canelo either way. He told Barrera in his interview with Onaran Mass how he thinks southpaws are easy for him to fight. We'll see, bro. So far, it looks like he's having a little bit of problems. Dumpty's boxing abomination, bro. You guys. Oh shit. I would definitely give that for. Oh, is Freddie Roach? No, it's not Freddie Roach. Guy looks like him though. Andrade wins the first round. David is going to have to adapt, and I tell you what, David is going to have to start adapting early as well, because if Andrade does win the first half of this fight, I do think that it'll be very hard for him to come back. He's going to have to win 2 or 3 rounds in the first half. Nice try by Andrade. I'm not sure if that landed or not. He's got to see. David is having a problem here, really getting close to Andrade, and it's he's actually backing him up. And I've already stated this: if Benavidez gets backed up in a fight, he will not win that fight. He has to back up Andrade, and Andrade looks like he landed a good right hand there. Andrade is winning this fight so far, and look at that, he's actually able to move Benavidez around. Okay, okay. Good jab by Benavidez, but he's trying to outbox him too much right now, and I understand the changing in levels, but you're not that fighter, and he has to take advantages here. Good right by Benavidez. He's trying to wing that right in there. Very similar actually to Andrade, how he wings in his left. This is interesting. Benavidez is trying to adapt, but he's having trouble. No doubt about it. But Andrade, at times, he is a bit good right again by Benavidez. Andrade at times is a little bit too sloppy for his own good. I'm also not seeing any shots on the inside from Andrade inside that clinch. And that's probably something you want to do. Good uppercut by Andrade, I think. Very fast by Andrade. Impressive. Oh, good right by Benavidez in that clinch. Andrade claiming it was behind the head. I think it was just on the side. But that's the shots that Benavidez is going to be looking for. Good jab by Benavidez. Oh, good right by Benavidez. Good left by Benavidez. They're saying Andrade is pulling the bigger guy, and he has him up against the ropes at the moment, but Benavidez is landing the more important punches in the clinch. Andrade is landing the more important punches on the outside. So far, I'd still give this round to Andrade more than likely. But Benavidez is Benavidez is getting backed up though. He is on the back foot. That is something we don't usually see with Benavidez. Let's see how he does. He does have a good jab here, but the footwork still is a bit sloppy. Good jab by that of Benavidez. Good jab again by Benavidez. Andrade is getting hit by those jabs. See, Benavidez actually has him up against ropes here, but he's not throwing, and that's interesting. Because if he continues doing that throughout the fight, he is not going to win this fight. He has to throw. He has to. And it could be because he's waiting from the tire. Good right by Benavidez. There are some that would give Benavidez that round. I'm still going to give it to Andrade. Um, very close round. Very, very close round. Andrade started off really fast. But then Benavidez did start to adjust a little bit. He's starting to land that jab. He's starting to land the right. However, I do not see him throwing as much on the inside. And if you're a Benavidez fan, for example, that is a little bit concerning because you want to see that. Benavidez's game is to get off whatever shots he can, the blistering combinations. So far, it's looking a lot like the Caleb Plant fight. Huh. Oh, just tied up. A little bit of a trip. They're saying that Andrade is bullying Benavidez a little bit. I don't think he's bullying him. I think he is getting his way at times in the clinches. Um, and there's that Mexican shell defense, and that's it. I've never been a fan of the Mexican shell defense. It's a very simple style of defense. It's very stiff. Benavidez tries to get the right hand in there. Andre doesn't fall for it. Nice try with the left from Andrade, but just blocked, I think. Good left by Andrade. Benavidez does not look comfortable. Good body shot by Andrade. Good body shots again by Andrade. Benavidez is trying to get in there. He's trying to hit him, but Andrade is using his lead hand jab to set him off balance. Benavidez does not have good footwork. And Benavidez is having it. See, if you're Benavidez right now, you got to go to the body. He's trying to headhunt Andrade too much. And when you try to do that against a boxer, it's not going to work. Good little left there by Benavidez. But Andrade is getting the better of him. Ooh, my neck. Interesting. Now Andrade is pushing him up against the ropes. Benavidez is not having a good round so far. He had a little bit of his way in the second round. Andrade is having none of it in this third. Nice try with the right, but it was blocked. Good body shot again by Andrade. Benavidez so far is having no counters to those body shots. None. He has no counters to those. And Andrade's up against the rope. There he goes. He tries to throw a right, but Andrade mainly avoids it. Good left by Benavidez. That's the problem with Andrade at times. Keep your hands up, man. Keep your damn hands up. And even if Andrade wins the first 2 minutes of these rounds, it's possible for Benavidez to win the last half because he's so relentless and powerful. And now Benavidez looks like he's starting to come back a little bit. So Andrade needs okay. Blocked right, but see, and it looks like he's starting to slow down a little bit. Andrade is not having a great response right now. And this is a round that he was clearly winning. And to be honest, he almost looks a little bit hurt here. He looks tired almost. That's unfortunate. This was a round that he was clearly winning. But if Benavidez gets in even a couple more punches, Bernstein said it best. The fight changed in the last 35 seconds. It did. He's keeping his hands lower. I'm not sure if Andre is playing possum. Good left hand to the body again. Benavidez, God, man, he's just such a Mexican brawler. I would still give that round to Andrade, but here's the thing: the last two rounds were so close. I'm gonna give so far. I have a 3 rounds to 0 for Andrade. Andrade is starting to slow down a little bit, unless he was playing possum that round. I'm gonna look this up on Twitter actually, see what other people are scoring this. Let's see. I don't think Andrade. I wouldn't be surprised. I just want to see how he looks. If he starts getting beat up in the next round, he probably will eventually either get stopped or dropped. Um, let's see. What do people have this fight? Uh, Benavidez bring it back. Someone has a 2 rounds to one. I could easily see that. Yep, the people are pretty much saying the same thing I am. Either 3 rounds to 0 for Andrade or the fuck 2 rounds to one for Andrade. Either way, Andrade is winning this fight right now. Um, but let's see. Benavidez has to win 2 of these next 3 rounds. He has to. He's not going to win this fight just by winning the complete second half. He has to win some of these other rounds. Ooh, good body shot. They said it was a bit low. Oh, Andrade is complaining a little bit here. Andre looks bothered. He looks bothered. He looks tired. I don't like the energy that's coming off of him right now. And Benavidez looks more confident. I have it 2-1. I can't blame you. I can't blame you. I have it 3-0 for Andrade. Um, that's a body shot for Benavidez, I think. Andrade is see, Benavidez actually needs to get in closer. He doesn't he's gotta stop worrying about those long range shots. But the thing is that he keeps he keeps waiting for Andrade to hold him, then by the time Andrade's already out of there, and you're not gonna win this fight that way. But Andrade is clearly slowing down. Oh, actually, he's not looking good at all this round. He's throwing, but it's almost like when an animal is trapped. You can tell they're throwing because they're a little bit desperate. He does not look as good this round. Um, Good left there by Benavidez. Good uppercut by Benavidez. Oof. This is a Benavidez round so far. Good body shot. Wow. I gotta tell you what, I did not think Andrade was gonna slow down this early. It could once again, and the question is here, is he just waiting to kind of conserve his energy for the second half of the fight? Because if he looks like this for the rest of the fight, he's screwed. There's no way. Because I don't care how skilled you are, you gotta have stamina. Good right hand by Benavidez. This is not looking good for Andrade in this round. Andrade looked a little bit off balance there, and his power looks to have dissipated a little bit. Very unfortunate if this is how the rest of the fight plays out because Andrade had a great start. Great start. Benavidez has got to throw more counters though. Oof, God, he is winging that right hand in there. I'm a little bit surprised, but Andrade has not been able to counter it, but he doesn't look good at all this round, folks. He's getting trapped more in the. Oh God, that right hand looked to have hurt. That right hand hurt. I could see him wince. Benavidez is really putting in that right hook in there, and it's very risky because Andrade for a lankier southpaw, Benavidez is winging in that right hook from fucking right field, right to the body, right to the head, and he's been doing it the whole time. Oh God, that left really hurt. This is the clearest round for Benavidez if you've scored any other ones for him. Good right. Oh, he knocks down Andrade. He knocks down Andrade. He knocks down Andrade. What the hell did he get him with? I think it was an uppercut or a hook. He knocks down Andrade. We got to see that replay. What the hell happened? I told you guys he didn't look good that round, guys. He didn't look good. Oh, damn. He looks bad here, guys. And I got to say, after that knockdown, I don't think he's playing possum. Let's see. Oh, it was a right hook. It was a right hook. See, that's the same. I had a person actually. I actually had a person comment on this. That's the same type of knockdown that Aegis Kavalaskas got on Terrence Bud Crawford, and I had a person argue with me or debate with me whether they thought that was a headshot or not. Or excuse me, not a headshot, but a knockdown. That is a knockdown, and it's very similar here because he got hit. He tried to tie up. Man, his eyes almost damn near rolled back in the back of his head. Um, he tied up, and he willingly went down. That is a legitimate knockdown. This is not looking good for Andrade. He looks really bad. Wow. Oh, good uppercut by Benavidez. He looks a little bit more fresh this round, though, but Benavidez with a good right hand. Good left, miss with the right. Andrade is blocking, but he looks like this is the last resort, folks. This doesn't look good. Good right again. That hurt. That hurt him. He's hurt. Wow. And to be honest with you, folks, I don't even think Benavidez still has that cracking amount of power that people say. So the question is Andrade really as good as what a lot of people said if the fight continues this way? Another good right, another good left landed by Benavidez. And he is 35, but I wouldn't say that he was super washed. Of course, you know what? Andrade is a very talented fighter. I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but like I said, I need to see this out of this world skill set. So far, this fight's going exactly how I predicted. Um, Good left by Bennett. Oh boy, He doesn't have the most sharpened skill set I've ever seen, but he's just ferocious. He goes in there, he doesn't care. He's there to destroy you. Andrade is not moving. He has no legs. He just has no legs. Good left. Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. He looked like he was almost about to be knocked down again. There's a minute and a half left in the round, guys. I will tell you what, if he actually gets a fucking mid-round TKO, I'll give you credit to whoever predicted that earlier. Because goddamn, I mean, I wouldn't have been shocked by a latter round TKO, but mid-round? Damn. God, Benavidez is just launching those body shots. He's doing exactly what he needs to do, though. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. Okay, he's looking for that right, bro. Andrade has just nothing. He has no power. Oh, another good. Oh, he hurt him. Uh-oh. To be honest, guys, this is almost getting to the point where the ref might stop it. Andrade is fighting back, and he hasn't been knocked down again, but he's not looking good at all. He's taking a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Good left. Good counter right by Andrade, though. Well, Benavidez can fight a boxer, but to be honest, I mean, Andrade is not good. Oh, Andrade pushed him up against the ropes now. But clearly a Benavidez round. He nearly knocked him down about 2 to 3 times in this round. Oh! Hurt him with the he almost hurt him with another right hand. Oh, man. Andrade does not look confident. I didn't pick B by I also picked him by unanimous decision as well. I have this fight tied now, and if you gave Benavidez one of the earlier rounds, that means that you have this fight even. Or excuse me, that means that you have Benavidez up by 1. Uh, wow. What can I say? This is not looking good for Andrade. I thought that he would eventually wear down. I did not think it would be this early. Vicious uppercut. You know, I'll give Benavidez credit for is that lead hand. He actually has a very good jab. Oh man, the fake out. And on top of that, he's actually using it to push off his opponent. Oh, excuse me. Oh god, those uppercuts are just so vicious. So vicious. He doesn't have art to better be power. Oh, they're checking on Andrade. They're checking on him. If he gets knocked out in these next 2 rounds, he's done. I've already stated this. There's nothing left for him because after this, you're not beating Morel. You're not beating. I don't even know if he'd beat Yannick after this. Of course, the fight's not over. Fight's not over. Anything can happen. Andrade looks scared to death. Scared. I would be too. What the hell's going on? Oh, looks like there's a. Oh, he spit out his mouthpiece. He spit out his mouthpiece. That's a sign of. I bet you money that Dante and some of these other channels after seeing this are going to be like, can you imagine, the David beat Andrade, who would have beat Canelo? Imagine what he's going to do to Canelo. I bet you money that's what he's going to come out with. Andrade starting to fight back a little bit, but he has no legs, he has no stamina. Good right. God, good up. God, he's getting the shit kicked out of him. I thought that this was going to be more competitive than this, to be honest with you. I was assuming a same Caleb Plant fight. It's after the third round, it's just been utter domination. Benavidez is really looking for that right hand. However, he is hitting him less. Andrade looks like he's recovering a little bit. If I'm Benavidez, I'm going back to the body. If you're Andrade, you got to try to stick that lead hand out there. You got to really try to get that left hand to the body and to the head. But I just don't think he has the stamina. Holy God. Oh, that right hand to the body, man. Andrade looks hurt again. Good right hand to the body again. Andrade is trying to counter, but once it's for those of you that have never sparred that much, I mean, it's just hard. The more tired you are, the more you're gonna get hit, the more it's harder for you to move around, and that's Andrade's game, and he does not have power to compete with Benavidez. He just God. Benavidez just beating the shit out of this man. Ivan Drago versus a Paul Creed. A fucking Mexican Ivan Drago. He's about damn as big as Ivan Drago, I'll tell you that much, for a fucking 168 weight division. I'll give you that. Oh, good uppercut by Andrade, though. He may have hurt Benavidez there a little bit. Not enough, though, not enough to push him off. This is still Benavidez round, though, but I'll tell you what, Andrade had his moments in this round, I just think that he's getting hit too much. Oh, dude, that hurt. I just seen some white fly from Andrade's face. Oh god. See, the question is here is, do you stop this fight? Because I'm sorry, but Andrade is not looking good, and maybe the referee doesn't. They're 2 great champions, but, you gotta think about the corner. Does the corner stop this fight? He spit out his mouthpiece again. He spit it out again. Oh, wow. Andrade looks really bad here, guys. He looks so bad. It looks like his nose is broken, to be honest with you. It's a little bit curved towards the left. Oof. Really unfortunate. Dante said he had Andrade winning by a landslide. There goes. Oh, he actually said that. He actually said that. 78 Sports, Dumpty, Blue Blood fan, and all cry. Yeah, yeah. Their booties are definitely going to be sore after. Wow. The referee just said it. He said, "I'm not going to watch that again." He said the exact same. You're kidding me. They stopped it. They stopped it. They fucking stopped the fight. They stopped the fight after 5 rounds. No, 6 rounds. Excuse me. 6 rounds. They stopped the fucking fight. Wow. Unfortunate for Andrade. Because once again, I don't know where his career goes. One of the unfortunate stories in boxing, relatively talented, like I've always stated, not as talented in my view as what people said. I ended up right. Um, he's talented, but the stamina was not there. And to be honest, the defense, I've always had clamors about his defense. His defense is not as great as what a lot of people always try to say that it was. Wow. Whew. I predicted mid-round TKO because of Andrade's sloppiness. He had a lot more. He was sharper in this fight. The problem, he just had no stamina. He had no stamina. And to be honest with you, Benavidez wasn't even hitting him that much after the first 3 rounds. Um, Andrade just, he just couldn't deal with the size of the power. I predicted Benavidez to win. I did not predict this. That is crazy. That is crazy. Wow. So the question now will be who wins that fight between Canelo and David Benavidez. David is definitely a ferocious fighter. But I need Canelo, I think, is clearly the more skilled fighter. David can certainly beat him, though. However, the question will be: is that Canelo? Will he have the stamina? And Canelo also has more power than Andrade. I did not expect Andrade to have a short out that quick. He had almost no stamina. He had none. God, that right hand was vicious. Dude, yeah, you know what, bro? Had a feeling like Canelo said, horrible, horrible fighter. Well, you know what? To be fair, Canelo said this was a 50-50 fight when it was finally announced. I didn't agree with that. I gave it 60-40. Shit, it should have been 80-20. Um, wow. God. Oh, he actually knocked out his mouthpiece. I'm not sure if he was trying to spit it out or what. He definitely was trying to spit it out a couple times. Mike Tyson. The taller the tree, the harder it falls. Yep. He didn't even have to fucking fall. He fell once. They had to stop it after 5 rounds, and you know what? I don't blame him. But he couldn't even go out. Once again, I don't blame him, but he just had nothing. He had nothing after 6 rounds. I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. I want had he knocked him out with a good shot, wouldn't have been shocked. The fact that he had literally no stamina after 6 rounds is just really he had no stamina after three. I mean, it's just shocking. Wow. Jesus Christ. El Monstro. Well, we all know who he's gonna call out. Canelo's laughing his ass off right now. I tell you what. Unfortunate for Boo Boo. I agree, it is unfortunate. You wonder if it was earlier on in his career had he stood a better chance. But to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure if he's ever had super great stamina because a lot of his second half of the fights he does tire out. As I commented before, nothing in Andrade's arsenal was impressive. I didn't give him a chance at all. I gave him a chance, bro. I tell you what, good on you because I did not see it happening this way. We're speaking on David Benavidez versus Canelo. Yeah, I feel you, dog. I still don't think Benavidez beat Canelo. He gets hit too much. He definitely does get hit too much. The question is because Canelo has definitely tired out. He is a bit older. The power is clearly going to be in the advantage for Canelo against Benavidez or Andrade. But yep, and he just called out Canelo. But the question will be is how is Canelo's stamina? Because people will be like, "Oh, Canelo's 33. He's 33, but he's really about a 36, 37-year-old. He's been fighting professionally for 18 years, and he's been in a lot of big fights. On top of that, Benavidez is probably a legit two weight classes bigger than Canelo. Andrade is really bigger than what Canelo was, and he tired out within 3 rounds. Canelo's also never been known for super great stamina, but I'll tell you what, I've never seen that. Well, he couldn't barely even hit you, David. He hit you. It's just that he had no stamina after that of 4 rounds. That's crazy. That is, first of all, great fake. Um, Obviously, he saw something in training camp and in footage that to where that was going to work. Um, I gotta give him credit. That is fucking insane. Whole crowd, whole fucking crowd. Like I said, though, I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo fights someone else next. But I don't know who he's really gonna fight because I mean, could be Jaime Munguia. Not a super great fight. Um, could be Charlo, but he didn't look super great. Well, David Morrell was able to get in the ring with him, but David turned it down. I don't blame him, but damn, that was a damn slugfest. It was an ass kicking after round three, is what it was. That's what it was. Damn, horrible, horrible fighter. Yeah, man, that's just unfortunate. A younger Andre would have just been a longer beating. Andrade would have to be a natural one. Well, that's the thing about Andrade. You know what? To be honest with you, it looks like he could fit there. I mean, probably at least 100% a natural 160 pounder, but I mean, he's like what 6'2". 73, 74 inches. You know, so he's not small. He looked around the same size as Benavidez. It's just that he just had no stamina. God. The question is, can Canelo's stamina hold out? Yeah, I agree. Benavidez also does not have an A-plus level chin. He can get hurt, he can get knocked down. We've seen it before. The question will be is can Canelo hit him consistently and can he keep him off of him? If Canelo has Benavidez backing up the whole entire fight, Canelo wins. If Benavidez has Canelo backing up the whole entire fight, Benavidez basically wins that fight. So it's basically whoever is going to be the bulldozer in that fight. And that's a 50-50 fight, to be honest with you. If Canelo, you know, if Canelo's at his greatest form, I would probably favor him, but I don't know. Wow. The question is, let's see. I'm really not looking forward to Canelo versus Munguia. I don't even know if that fight's gonna happen, but I assume Canelo's gonna fight one more fight. Uh, I assume. I could be wrong, but that's what I assume. I assume he's gonna fight one more fight. Could be Charlo. I think the main target he's looking at is Charlo. Um, and that wouldn't be a bad fight, but I just don't think Charlo's gonna beat him. Um, Canelo will level change very low, like the Chavez Jr. and Callum Smith fight. He certainly could. But his excuse me, his stamina and his power is gonna have to be consistent. He's gonna have keep Benavidez off of him that whole entire fight. And to be fair, he did it with Gennady Golovkin. Wow, let's look at those scores. Tim Cheatham had Benavidez up 58-55. Well, let me take a look at my scorecard real quick. Hold on. Another one had him up 59-54. Jesus. I had it 57-56. What the hell were those judges watching? 57-56 is exactly right. Steve Weisfield is the only judge that got that right. Those other two judges, I don't know what the fuck they were watching. Maybe Cheatham got it right. David Sutherland, I don't know. He was clearly slipped up something under the table. I think he might have I think he might have given every single round to David Benavidez, other than one. Wow. Those scorecards were a bit skewed, to be honest. Jesus. Andre did not look small. I agree. He didn't look small next to me. He didn't. He looked the exact same size, or maybe a bit smaller. Boob Boob never had his metal tested. What do you say? Well, I guess so. Jesus. So Plant better than Andre. Hey, you know what? You have a great argument for it. What you can never say now is that Andrade is 10 times better than Plant. You can never say that. That's out the window. A noticeable difference in size would be Bivol versus Zurdo Ramirez. That looked cartoonish as heck. Yeah, I agree. That was ridiculous. And Bivol beat the shit out of that man. I keep telling people this. Bivol is nothing to fuck around with. And Canelo, with no stamina in that fight, was able to give Bivol a good 4 or 5 rounds. God, that right hurt. That right hurt. Oh, the guy said stop it. And let me tell you what, Andrade did not protest. So I don't think he has a problem with that stoppage. Man, that is fucking insane. Well, what else is there to really be said? Uh Not much, man. I think I gotta do my fight review now. Gotta do my full analysis, although I'm sure a certain amount of you guys heard it. Uh wow. Hopefully we could see Canelo versus Benavidez within at least at a minimum one of his next two fights. Or at a max, I should say. A lot of people, of course, are gonna want to see it next. I personally predict Canelo will fight someone else first, and then I think he's gonna fight David Benavidez, but I could be wrong about that. Uh because I think Canelo, he knows that Benavidez is a decently big threat. And I think that he'd want one more name before he fights him, but we're gonna see. But anyways, let's see. He was on his way out, so they did him a favor. I mean, there wasn't really much else for Andrade to do. He wasn't gonna get the fight against Charlo. He wasn't gonna get the fight against Canelo. He wasn't gonna get the fight against a certain amount of other guys. It was either what the hell is his name? The hell is that Kazakhstan's name at 160? Uh, damn, forgot his name. It was either that dude. It was either that dude or fucking David Morrell. Oh, Janabek, that's his name. Janabek. It was either Janabek or fucking David Morrell. I don't. He's definitely not winning those two fights after that. Jesus Christ, fucking a. God. Well, I gotta do my fight review, guys. Yep, you got it there, man. Janabek. I forgot his name there for a hot minute. But thank you guys so much for watching, man. Very much appreciated. Certain amount of you guys tuned in. Always love to, get some of my guys watching this. It was a pretty fun night. Unfortunately, not that great of a fight, but whatever. Obviously, the fight to make now is Canelo versus Benavidez. Let's make it happen. We'll see what happens. Anyways, I gotta do my fight review, guys. Very great to talk to y'all. Thank y'all for who commented and who tuned in. If you're new here, subscribe. Certainly would appreciate it. But anyways, that's pretty much about it. I'm out for now. Got to do my fight review. Got some work to do. Hopefully, y'all enjoy the fight for however long it lasted. Peace out for now.